All right, everybody, welcome back to Daily DVR. My name is Axel. I'm here with my main man, my hetero life mate, Heath Snowlow, the bastard podcaster. I say that because we're here to talk about The Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 2. Had a little bit of Game of Thrones feel, a little hard home it reminded me of. Was directed by Mark Malloy, the Game of Thrones director. You can check us out at dvrpodcast.com. Subscribe to the video, like us on YouTube, follow the link in the show notes. If you're not watching us on YouTube, we're trying to do everything we do live on YouTube. You can also support us by becoming a patron. Go to patreon.com/DVR. And if you're a free patron, be a paid patron this month. Show us that you love us, help us keep the lights on, get this YouTube looking better, our equipment better. And I just have to tell you, I made that call, and you know what happened, Solo? The craziest thing happened.
You became one of those evangelists where you're or on telethons. You're starting up the Jerry Lewis telethon again.
No, no,
Oh,
no, no.
sorry.
But I was
What
touched
happened?
by an angel. We
Oh,
were all touched by an angel. An
well,
angel named Joe Bear.
yeah.
Can you believe it? Joe Bear upped his Patreon yet again, helping us
Because
out even more. Join it. I mean, just amazing. You know what I'm saying?
he's one of the OGs, like
Totally.
super OGs. But thank you, Joe Bear. And Joe Bear, this is my call to action to you right now. We've been in talks for years about you coming on a film list. So let's get in touch. I'll give you a sneak ahead of some of the films and see where you want to come in. And you can join me and Andy because I'd like to get Joe Bear on one of the film lists. So just let you know, Joe, I'm still thinking of you. Let's get that inked so we can get you on the pod.
Oh, I would love, that would be absolutely amazing. Just had to change my mic up there on the YouTube. It might sound a little bit different now, but I should be coming in
I know,
better.
I
But
thought the voice of God was coming into my
well,
ear.
that's the voice of Joe. Seriously, though, we really
Yeah.
appreciate you, buddy, and you're awesome. And that makes me feel awesome. When I saw that little, email comes in, I'm like, man, this dude, and he's out there helping us, supporting the library, working there, telling all the people the good shit, the good media, helping the youth, the elders.
The good shit lollipop.
There's
The
nothing like
good ship
libraries are
lollipop.
so amazing. I go to my library here in my town all the time. I'm a big person into it. So that's a little ad for libraries for Joe Bear. And he's an amazing guy. We love you. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
And thanks to all our patrons. You're amazing. But today we're here to talk about something shocking. Okay? Full spoilers. We're going ahead. The Last of Us. I knew what was going to happen. I played the game. I have been telling people to stay away from spoilers
Did you read the
forever.
book too?
There's
Oh, there's no
unfortunate.
book.
There may be a comic book. There may
Oh,
be, but Solo, you tell us your story before we get into it.
all
Tell
right.
us your story because it's a little frustrating.
Yeah. So I didn't play the game. I went in spoiler free first season, still spoiler free. I listened to an amazing pod, Ball Move. Those guys, Aaron and Jim, they do excellent coverage. Love those. I've loved those guys for years. But they do a great job at saying, "Hey, we're gonna spoil it now. Here's a little break. Stop listening." So I stopped listening because I like to listen to the guys because they do such a great job on their Tuesday pod breaking down the whole episode. So then I went to another podcast, started listening just like a sports pod, probably Cousin Sal and the boys, and I was dozing off for the night. And I guess what Apple does or the podcast way it's set up, this is something I got to figure out. It's probably something simple. So I was listening to Sal's pod, fell asleep, and I didn't put a timer on, and then it automatically went to where I left off on the Ball Move
Oh,
pod.
yeah.
So which I didn't know. So I hear my earbuds go battery low. And then I'm like, what? I woke up and then I hear, well, Joe dies. and gets killed, what are the fans gonna think?
Oh,
And I'm like, what? Wait, what? So I was spoiled. I had to tell my wife because my wife would have had a fit and she would have stopped watching. I was tempted, Axel, to be like, okay, I'm done with the show. You had said it is still really good. You got to stick with it. And I'm going to see it through. But going in knowing and seeing what happened and not being Ned Stark shocked,
yeah.
it was different. And I almost felt like all the bad things. I love Pedro Pascal. That's the problem. I don't want to see him die. But in the show, it kind of makes sense. All the bad stuff he's done. Like if I was in Abby's like in her skin, I'd
Yeah.
want to kill him too and torture him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got mixed emotions.
Well, first of all, I'm sorry you got spoiled. Second of all, I still don't understand having to tell Lady Solo shit before it happens. I still don't get it because it's going to happen anyway. Like
No, no,
you
no.
telling her that I
There's
still
a
don't.
big difference. I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay, explain it
When
to me.
she doesn't know and
Yeah.
someone she loves dies, she gets
Uh-huh.
really upset.
Like she cried, like it
When
really,
Khaleesi got knifed,
yeah, yeah.
I've
Spoiler
never
alert.
seen her.
I'm
If you
just
haven't
kidding,
watched Game
dude.
of
I'm
Thrones,
kidding.
I know, but if you haven't watched Game of Thrones by now, no, that's
Especially if you're listening to this show.
yeah. And so I saw how it affect her. The first one was,
Okay.
when we watched season one, it came out, well, there's a big surprise coming up. And the surprise was Ned Stark getting his head chopped off. She goes, that's not a surprise. Surprises are good things. She goes, if you know of any deaths coming, I need to know.
Yeah.
So for her, that's her. You can't blame her. That's the way she likes it. She doesn't like plot spoilers or anything like that. She is a fairy tale and she likes the guy and the girl together. She likes happiness. Unfortunately, I've introduced her to many a show that is no happiness at the end.
Well,
So,
that's like all of prestige TV,
yeah.
right? Like, okay, I
So I
didn't.
have to be
Yeah,
careful with her. So I'm
I
glad she
see.
knew, but I'm glad I knew because I don't know how I would have handled it.
Okay,
I really don't.
I
I
get
had
it.
time to think about it and process it.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Well, I first of all, that was great. I love hearing you talk solo. I like when you start talking more in the beginning of the podcast than me. It gives me an opportunity to listen instead of launching into a big monologue. And it was really emotional. I can understand where you're coming from because I had to take myself out of it because I played the game. I knew what happened. And again, in the first season, when Joel goes and kills all the fireflies and basically also not only saves Ellie but destroys any hope of humanity surviving this apocalypse,
right.
right? Which, by the way, this episode showed us is getting worse. That's not getting better either. That's getting worse. Like the fungus is getting smarter, right? Um, in the game, you have to play as Joel. In the game, you are Abby.
Oh,
Before this happens, you switch to the character of Abby and you are playing as Abby and you have to kill Joel
really?
as Abby.
Are you like playing the game? Be like, what the hell's going on? Like
Yeah.
if I
Yep.
was new, because I'm a sports gamer, but I'm not
Yeah.
you know, because I wasted too much time playing video games in my life. I had to
Yeah,
cut
I know.
myself off like crack cocaine. But I would be like,
NHL
there's something wrong.
95.
I'd be like, it's like The Sopranos. There's something wrong with my TV. Something wrong with my
Yes,
phone.
you would. Because see, that's what is hard to explain about the brilliance of this game. A lot of it has been lost by the television show itself, the politics surrounding it, the stupid reaction of the incels getting upset about this and that and the other thing. But really, the genius of the game is that it uproots all video game conventions.
Right.
So the idea that you are playing as one character and then you switch to another character, it happens all the time in video games. I could name 5 different video games in which that happens,
Mhm.
okay?
Mhm.
But the way that they do it in the game is for only emotional reasons. It's not so you can learn a new trick or something,
Right,
right?
right, right.
So that's the thing, is that it's so crazy that you're playing the game and you're so happy to be back and you're like, oh, look, it's Joel, it's Ellie. Oh, they're getting to know each other. And then all of a sudden Abby's introduced and you have to play the character, and then it dawns on you, shit, I'm playing a character that wants to kill Joel, and then you
That's
have to kill
unreal.
Joel. And it's even more
Wow.
brutal. See, they did one thing that was the one thing, there's a little bit of changes, but pretty much it plays out like the game. In the game, it's just it's not, it's an unbroken sequence of events, so you can't turn away. And that's what
Oh,
makes it
wow.
even more brutal. In the show, they actually cut once or twice during the beating so Ellie can get there, and it like lasts a long time, but it
Right.
also lasts that long because as you as the viewer are sitting there going, they're not really going to kill Joel, are they? Right? Like there's no way he really dies. He's got to recover from this. So they stretch it out. In the game, it's like she just goes, "You ready, motherfucker?" And you just start beating the shit out
Oh
of
my
him
God.
until, and then the final blow, they make you hold it, and then you have to do a series of, I can't remember
I
exactly what
wonder
it
why
is.
you wonder why we're all messed up playing
Exactly.
games.
So it's like they make you even think. In the
Oh,
game they do that too. It pauses just before, and then you have to do like hit A rapidly or something. And then the rapidly is making you fucking crush his skull in. It's
oh
not
my
a
God.
stab, it's
I
more of like
mean,
a crush, but it's
when
crazy.
when when Joel is trying to get up, like Ellie's like, "Get up, Joel!" My gosh, like I knew like he was
Yeah.
gonna die. I mean, I was hoping that the show was gonna change it, but I had a feeling they weren't going to. I mean, that was one of the most emotional scenes. I was taken back the way. I mean, Craig Mazin and the everyone. I mean, did he direct? Did Craig direct? He wrote and directed this episode, correct?
No, I thought it was Mark Malloy.
Oh,
I thought
oh,
Mark
okay,
Malloy directed it. Yeah. Game of
okay.
Thrones
Did Craig write? Craig might have
famous.
written it then,
And it
or may,
always makes me think of
okay,
no, I think he wrote it. Yeah, wait.
yeah, maybe I got.
Uh
Maybe
yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yep.
Okay, he
He
directed the
directed it.
first episode.
Yeah.
Craig did, I believe.
Yes, he
That's what I'm
did.
getting
Yep.
confused. Okay.
And written and directed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So I mean, just the emotion and this episode was brilliant. I mean, the attack on New Amsterdam or whatever it's called. What's it called again? As Axel's being swept away by his phone.
No,
What?
I'm looking
What?
at I'm trying to back up what we're talking about. I'm
No, I
sorry.
know, but I asked you a
Where are
question.
they?
What's it called?
Where
What's the
are
town
they?
called again? The town.
Um, I can't even remember, dude.
Inglewood?
I'm
I
not
don't know.
remembering it either. Where are they again? Cheyenne
Jackson,
or something
Jackson,
there?
Jackson,
Jackson? Is that where they are?
Jackson. You're supposed to know this. You play the game.
Well, I don't remember everything.
You play to win the game. Herman Edwards. All right. While Axel's doing his thing, I'll just talk because it's nice on YouTube Live just seeing him
Jackson,
type.
Wyoming. Yep.
So, I mean, I mean, with the bloated freaking zombie and Tommy and the throwers, and then just the way they shot shooting off the rooftops. And oh my gosh, it was intense, man. It was intense. So are
It
you
was
doing the pod
super
with me, or are
intense.
you just you being
Hey,
you do
Solo,
I'm just
I
playing
have to
with you.
produce the pod while you're talking. I'm
Right.
recording it, I'm doing the YouTube, and I'm also looking things up. So while I'm doing that, you got to just keep on talking. But I'll come
Okay.
back to you,
I just
pal.
no,
But
I know.
that's
I
like
like
when
I'm not like
Ando
you.
produces the pod,
I don't
you
like to
know?
do soliloquies or monologues. I like to talk with the host I'm doing. So I just you
I
got
have to
we're in
produce
an
it.
intense moment. What are you producing right now?
I'm bringing up the Facebook comments because we have a lot of Facebook comments.
Okay, well,
So
you could have done
I got
that
to bring those
after
up.
wanted to ask you a question, but it's okay. Fine.
All right, what's moving on? What are we talking about here? Go back
Well,
to your
that's right.
question.
That's right. You're producing. So I was talking about Jackson, the amazing. I mean, you're cutting back and forth with what's going on with Joel. I mean, Joel rescues Abby, And then she finds out he's Joel when whatchamacallit, Dina or someone's like, "Hey Joel, we're down here," or whatever. And
Yeah.
I mean, the way Abby's like, "Oh my God, this is him," and you're thinking, well, she saved him. Would she? No, no. She was gonna kill him. That was the thing. They did the tension of the surrounding fireflies. Some of them, like, I mean, the one guy calls him a pendejo after he's dead and walks away. And I'm like, all right, buddy, we get it. But some of them were struggling, like, we can't do this because the one guy wanted to try to convince her not to
Yeah.
do it. But it was just the back and forth, the emotion of everyone, just the perfect acting and directing with I mean, without dialogue, just the reactions of all the fireflies and stuff. It was a brilliant scene.
It
Um,
was.
it really was. I mean, and of course, for an episode two, the action of the attack on Jackson. I mean, that thing was amazing. My favorite. I'm still I just I'm in awe. And I've only watched it once. I watched it last night. I'm gonna watch it again, just because I'm gonna watch probably the first two episodes again. But man, this for an episode two, this might be one of the best episode twos of all time of a
It was
season.
it was amazing. And that part two is setting it against the backdrop of the attack on Jackson. That now that we know the name of it, I won't check it again. Is not in the game either. That was totally invented. And that's what made me so happy. All the stuff you're describing is both action and emotional stuff coming together, right? And for me, that's what was missing from the first season. It was hitting you over the head with the emotional cost of humanity stuff. And I liked it. I still was talking about Perry with this last night, but they weren't able to mix the two things. And I was really excited. I remember I was at the kitchen before and I was like, hey, I can't wait for this episode because I think they're going to be able to do both action and emotional stuff. And they were able to do it. I thought that that was fucking fantastic, man. And there's still got to be more to come because that shit. How did you interpret what happened? Because I read an article about this, so I'm going to ask you, Solo. How do you interpret the actual attack by the fungus zombie clicker creatures on Jackson? Like, why did it happen? Like, what are your thoughts on it? Because it has like a couple stages.
Well, you know, I'm just wondering. I am actually confused, Axel, at why they headed towards Jackson, like World War Z, because I'm thinking, okay, they're following Abby. She discovers them. I mean, amazing where she's in like on top of the ice or whatever, and all the bodies. Oh my God, it was so cool. And then I'm like, oh my God, then you see the horses and you see them chasing the horses. So did they, I guess, make a different turn and got away from them and they just went to Jackson? Were they following them? I'm a little confused on that.
Okay, that's
I'm like,
interesting.
why? Now, is it the stuff in the pipes? Are
Uh,
they sensing that those things? Is
keep
that
going.
why? Is that
Keep
why
going.
they're headed towards there? Because they sense something that it's attracting them? Possibly. Also,
See, that's why I'm not saying anything because
I
you're
know, I know,
getting
I
it.
know. You're great.
You got it. I don't want to say it. You got it.
That I've
Yeah.
just figured it out, I think.
Yep. You
Now,
got it.
I got a question for you, and this is from Lady Solo, my wife. She brought it up. You remember when Ellie, well, she got bit, but then she was covering it, and her
Yeah.
blood was going like in the drain and stuff while she's washing it off, I think. Or I think she's bleed. I think there's a point where her blood goes in the sink or whatever.
Right.
Um, or maybe she's taking a shower. No, she's probably not taking a shower. That's White Lotus outside. Um, but the I think Ellie's her blood gets into the drainage system. Would that have an effect on anything, or is that just?
Well, I
Because I don't know
haven't,
what her blood actually does, to be honest. So that I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
that's it. That I had not thought of. But if you remember, I think that that's why for this part of the show, it does help you to go back and watch the first couple episodes at least of last season because they explain the actual outbreak and what it
Oh
is
yeah,
and the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
fungus and all that, right?
Okay,
And what's
okay.
happening because this is not like as they're people are not zombies. They are being
Right.
they're the hosts for this fungus,
That's
this
right. Yeah,
viral
I want to
fungus,
make sure I don't
right?
say zombies
Yeah,
because
so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not like, oh my God, it's not like Game of Thrones, like all those dead people are going to be more zombies to bring back. The people are actually alive, and then the virus gets into them and they start doing whatever they're doing and become these other creatures. But
right,
I
right,
think exactly what you said is happening because, and I'm not even talking from the game, I'm interpreting it myself
right.
because there are certain things they held back. But yeah, I interpreted it as the somehow those little that stuff going through the pipes, I'm doing it with my hands, was sensing that people were there, and then it was sending a signal through the mitochondrial web to the other creatures, and then they were following it. So it was working in tandem
Mm,
together to do to but I
yeah, that's
thought
scary.
maybe those that stuff would start coming out and attacking people too, but
That's
that
what I
didn't
thought. Maybe they were
happen.
gonna all of a sudden turn into.
Right, but that didn't
I don't
happen.
think so.
So I
I don't.
guess maybe it was
Yeah.
just that was the spies that was trying to find the host, and then it found it and it's sending out the other part to go get it. Right? Which stuff
Incredible.
like that happens in nature. That's the cool thing about The Last
Yeah.
of Us too,
Yeah.
is the disease has a lot of cool science behind it. I like that they're getting into that more. They're doing all the right things in this episode, man. It really made me really happy because you know me, I was not super happy after the first season, and this is
Right.
making me super happy. The question they now you to bring it back to what you said earlier about how when we see Abby, she splits off from her people, right? And
Right.
then she sees what's going on. She sees the horse and she wants to go to kind of investigate who it is. And she slides down. And then when she gets up, she is again in a field of clickers or whatever they call them,
Right.
and we had heard about, did you catch that they had mentioned that earlier in the episode?
Yeah. I heard that they were dead ones. They're sleeping under their dead or whatever. They're
Yeah,
protected. They're hiding so that some were coming up
yeah,
like from the dead bodies. So
right,
yeah, yeah, I
exactly.
was prepared for that.
So I thought that that was cool that they mentioned that as well. Um, I thought that there was an article that was like, did you feel like Abby caused that?
Oh,
See, I don't know if I felt that way. Maybe from a metaphoric point of view, but
I
I don't
think
know.
maybe it accelerated it, meaning if that thing is sending out a signal, to the other, mushroom people or whatever, um, that was gonna happen, but maybe by her being there, she disrupted it a little bit, and maybe I don't know.
That I think
I don't know.
that's an interesting point because I was reading some article. It was like, okay, she kills Joel, but she also kills the town because if she hadn't have slid down that hill, she woke up all the zombies, and then while they were following her, the thing in the sewer woke up and was like, "No,
Oh,
come over here. All the people are over here. You don't need to just follow her." And
right.
that's what brought them there.
Well,
So it was kind of like working together.
let's think about this from a writer director perspective.
Yeah.
Why do we want her to slide down for and be in that area for just to see the dead bodies, or is it to move the plot along and something she's doing is So I mean, I would agree with both. I
Yeah.
don't really know. I mean, yeah, I think it just seems like eventually that was going to happen. Um, Especially, seeing them going after the horses and then not and going right for the town of Jackson. I want to say Mississippi, but it's Wyoming because I'm thinking of Johnny Cash, June
I'm
Carter
going to
Cash.
Jackson. Double P, our friend Bubba, is in the
Hey,
chat,
Bubba.
and he says, all those monsters in the snow is why I live in the South. Abby was right. Justice for Abby's dad. Well, I guess that's another question there, too. You had brought up when he saved her initially, was that going to change her mind? And the interesting thing for me is it is justice for her dad. But the one thing that nobody's mentioning, like I thought at least one of those kids was going to say, he killed any hope for humanity.
Yeah,
Like for me, I understand that he killed her dad and he killed people who were trying to help it. They were on his side, they were the Fireflies.
right.
But I keep on thinking about how he killed any chance for a cure. Like it's amazing that she can help people. I never thought of that blood thing, Solo, that it's maybe going after Ellie.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know with the blood thing. I thought maybe it contaminated the pipes and then it caused something. I don't know. It was
When
just a
did this
thought.
happen? Was that the first
It
episode or
was
was it?
my wife in the first, but I am when she cutting herself, I think to cover the bite. She's giving herself her own tattoo
Oh,
or something.
yeah, yeah. Oh, the second bite she got, the bite she got
Oh, I can't
last
hear.
week.
Is
Oh,
your
you
volume
can't
up or
hear
is that
me?
me?
No, you were
Oh, it
going
must
in
be
and out
me.
a little bit, pal. Can you hear
Hold
me?
on, let me.
All right, people, we're trying to go live. I'm trying to think about that. That was when she did that. I've got to watch that scene again because for
Oh, I don't
me,
know why.
I don't know if I thought that she was. My voice is still coming through on the YouTube, right, folks? Yeah. Yes. Hope for humanity. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Bubba can hear me, so my voice is still coming through.
I'm good. I'm
So,
back. I'm
all
back. Can
right,
you
you're
hear me?
back. You're back. Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. It was strange.
It happens, buddy. You know what? Today's one. We're working through things today, Solo. Today is a day where we work through our emotions and our feelings.
And
But
technology.
I love that Lady Solo picked this up because I thought it was the other way. I thought when she cut herself, that somehow some of the uh, fungus got on it or something.
Hmm.
But maybe you're right. It was that the fungus noticed her blood because she's immune to it. So even if the fungus got on her, it wouldn't matter. So maybe your thing died is maybe it's running out of batteries, Solo. Your headset. Okay, I'm just gonna keep talking, baby. We're gonna work through it. But I like that idea that because the idea that the fungus is in communication, that it's all one thing, is kind of like a thing that exists in real life, right? Like, isn't there like some fungal colony that stretches from like New Hampshire to like North Carolina or something like that? Like you hear stories like this. Um, Thank you. Bubba's telling us we can hear. I'm going to just keep talking until Solo gets back. So when you hear stories like this, I think that is a very interesting idea for this show because it not only it's a metaphor, it has to be a metaphor for what's happening with the people, what's happening with the emotion, with the world. This thing is taking over people, but yet it's in some way allowing people to communicate with each other more clearly. But in order to do that, it has to mutate them and basically turn them into monsters in order to do it. Then when we look at the show, what are all of our characters? They're all monsters. Joel's a monster, Abby's a monster. And I guess the real question of this season as this episode sets it up, and Perry asked me this question, I was going to ask Solo this question is, what are your feelings after this? Because it seems to me, you there, buddy? You back?
Yeah, sorry, I'm
Yes,
having some technical difficulties. I
he's back.
apologize.
He's back.
Oh, my town's
Good.
getting attacked,
Oh,
so I
okay.
had to go help out. But they,
All right. My question to you was, as I was kind of riffing off on the idea that all of our main characters have to become monsters in order to live in this world,
mm,
like Joel did, like we see Abby did, right? When she was killing him, that was brutal and disgusting. There's no, what do you get for that vengeance, right?
you
That,
get the Double P Podcast Network backing you.
yeah,
Bubba and
baby.
Catfish. That's what it is.
That,
That's up
well,
the lines of Joffrey,
exactly,
Milchek.
exactly.
I knew Bubba was going to be an Abby
It's just,
supporter. I knew it.
exactly. It's just, well, it is like the king, like King Joffrey, our Lord and Savior. It was his birthday yesterday. Oh wait, that was somebody. That was a different thing. Um, do you think that Ellie will become a monster now?
Oh, like not literally a monster, like not literally, like meaning like a Joe, like killing people
Yes,
more.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, of course. What do you, yeah. She says, I'm gonna kill you. She just lost any type of her last like father figure or whatever. She's angry. And she's been an angry teen, and she's just gonna go off and I think and start taking people out.
How does that make you feel? What
I
do you
freaking
think
love
about
it.
that?
I love it.
See, it makes me really sad.
Well, well, yeah. When you have a 19-year-old girl who has to go on a rampage and start killing people, yeah, that would make me sad too. But I know maybe sad for other reasons, for
If you
you.
were,
But no, I mean, this is the world they live in. This is the problem. This is the world they live in, and we're turning young kids into killers because of the circumstances. Look what's happened now. It's not only see again, it's Walking Deadish where you're fighting zombies, you're fighting mushroom people, and I keep calling them mushroom people. I don't know why. Um,
that's what we should call them.
the
Just the
mushroom,
shrooms. Just call
the
it the
shrooms.
shrooms.
Okay, they're going
That's
after the
good.
shrooms, and what does she have left? I mean, her mind. She's so confused and has been through so much. That's why. So, well, okay. Do I like her becoming a killer? Of course. In the real world, no. In this world, I'm rooting for it. But also, problem is, I love Caitlin Dever, and I'm interested in this Abby character. I'm not saying I'm rooting for Abby, and I want Abby to. I just I'm very. It's not like a Negan for me or someone really evil at first. Um, from The Walking Dead, but I don't know. I want to know more about her. And I mean, it was brutal, but like, it's funny when she brings up, yeah, my dad, the doctor, and he just shot him because he shot him without even. I mean, unfortunately, Joel trying to be a better person, not killing the two defenseless nurses, is why he's dead now because he let them live, and the
Oh,
nurses told
yeah.
Abby about him and everything. So I mean, think about
That's
five
true, buddy.
years
That's
of it
true.
building up. 5 years, and she finally gets it. And that's why I had a little hope for humanity. Maybe she would, but she was always going to kill him. But unfortunately, Ellie's in a tough position. She's got, she, she doesn't get infected. She has maybe the cure inside her, but it possibly she would have to die to save humanity. She just lost Joel. She's struggling with her sexuality. And there's so many different things going on in this poor 19. And so I can only imagine it's going to take someone, and I don't know if it's Dina, to hopefully take that rage out of her. Is she now going to go after Abby? Is that her sole purpose for revenge now? Is that, is she gonna, that's what's interesting to see how she navigates through this, and if there's can be anybody close to her that can help. I mean, I don't know, Tommy, maybe could help, but I don't see him. I don't see that happening. I'm trying to look at a male character who would kind of replace Joel in a way, and I don't think we have that.
I think Tommy could serve as that. And I think this focusing on he and his wife in this episode and he and him taking down the big shroom was, I think, an introduction to Tommy as the new lead male character in the show. Probably with other people, we're going to meet other people. It wouldn't, I don't, I think Jesse, the you kissed my ex-girlfriend, and I thought that whole
That was
thing was
fun.
funny
That was
too, about
great.
how he didn't really give a shit. Like he was I think he kind of was like, okay, cool, but he was like, I'm gonna, I think that I really like that dude from Beef again.
Yeah,
um
this episode,
but
I felt he was more, I don't know, like the interaction with Ellie was really
yeah,
good. I
he
mean,
had
he had
more
a little
personality.
more
Yeah,
personality,
yeah,
and it took an episode because the first one he's trying to be, in charge, and we kind of get
yes,
the sense,
you're
but now
exactly right,
having
buddy.
that banter, I was like, oh, this dude's good.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I'm
so
glad. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked him in this
I
episode.
really liked him in this episode, and I want to
That's
see
good.
more. And then I'm sure
You're
he'll.
sexually aroused, Commander,
I'm
huh?
sexually aroused, Commander.
You're like,
Yes.
you got a beef? I got beef. I got
Or
some
I
beef
got
for Jesse.
plant-based, baby.
There you go. Oh, vegetarian soy milk style. We'll tell Brett about it.
Well, we'll tell Brett about it.
Anyway, I think that he could be a lead character. I don't know that, and also, maybe the point is, do we need that? Does she need that? I don't know that she needs that. She doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think the point is, maybe I would hope that she's got to take a little bit of personal responsibility and ownership and step up herself. She is the cure. What does she
Right.
need? Someone to bring her to the Fireflies again? Bring herself. She's an adult now.
You know what? If
So I
this was
kind of
Yellow
like that.
Jackets, they would have played 15 covers of Cure
Mm,
songs in this episode.
I
Anyway,
know.
um, but the way it wasn't like Joel got killed on patrol and she found out. She witnessed the brutal execution of him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It, yeah, she needs to step up, but how can you not want revenge on this woman?
Well, I don't know because I mean, I guess that is where we're going. In my mind, I think it's going to be an exploration of hopefully her asking that question, because if you look at these two young women, they're mirror images of each other.
Mhm.
And
Nancy Drew,
there
Black
you
Rock
go.
Podcast,
Yeah. Double M. Um,
Double M,
mirror image.
Mirror
Um,
Mimics.
um, they are the same, right? And she wants to kill Abby for killing her father, who killed her father. And it's all just a circle of
Circle,
violence, and it doesn't
circle.
make any sense. And the game obviously explores that, and I'm interested to see the new
Wait,
ways in
what do
which
you
this
mean?
explores it.
What do you mean it doesn't make sense? Like Joel kills her
No, no, I
father.
mean, it doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't help anyone, is
Oh,
what I
yeah,
mean.
okay, okay, yeah. It doesn't
It
help
makes
anyone.
sense. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, yeah,
People
okay.
like to get vengeance on other people. But as the old saying goes, when you set upon the course of vengeance, dig two graves, right? Because you got to dig your own, because that's what you're doing. You're just killing yourself.
I
You're
got
not
two
going to help
guns, one for
yourself,
each of you. Little
What is she going to
Doc
do?
Holliday.
That's the
Yeah,
ultimate
I mean,
question.
well, and
You
remember,
know,
she's 19. You got to remember that.
I
And
know.
I mean, even though she's had to mature and become older than 19, she still as they showed, especially in episode one, you see the teenage on adulthood. I can do this on my own. I don't need, I'm older, I'm wiser. Just how we were. We were all like that at 19, but we
Yeah.
weren't in apocalypse, thank God, but like you're still you think you're older than you are, but you're a kid still, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So
And you know what? I just realized something. I was I'm a little I have to be two-minded while I'm talking about this show. You have to realize that, right? Because I
I
don't want to
understand.
spoil you.
Sure, sure.
So I'm kind of thinking a little bit and trying not to say anything. And as I was sitting here, I realized I don't remember how the game ends. So I'm gonna try not
Well,
to
we
get
know why.
spoiled
We know why.
on why, because I was too stoned.
Because yeah, your memory isn't, you know.
It's not that great. That's why I'm not
But
that
that's
good on.
okay.
That's a film list thing. I was listening to the film list and you were like, I thought Axel saw all these movies. And I said, have I explained yet to you? I probably said it
Yeah, you
already.
did. You said it. But say it for our YouTube
I
audience.
saw all of them. I just don't remember them. I don't remember them. You and Andy remember these movies, and I'm fucking amazed. Like the memory you have, bro, when Andy is like, I don't know, hop, like he was texting us about. And Solo's like, oh yeah, I remember. It was 1994. I was sitting at a green desk, and I thought to myself, I had a red shirt on, and I'd just tied my shoes. And then I thought I should go see Hop. Like you remember things that I can't even. It takes me once you start talking, I start remembering a little bit
Well,
more.
but that's me. I
A good
relate to
memory.
my life of movies and music,
Yeah,
where I was, how I felt, who I was
yeah,
dating, what was going on in my life. It's ingrained up
yeah,
here.
man.
And add sports to that too,
Yeah.
ingrained up here. And you wonder why. Like my wife's like, "You're so smart." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm not using it only on the DVR podcasting network." And then, but lately I've been forgetting that Jackson, Wyoming was Inglewood.
Well, we are getting older, you know? I
Yeah.
mean, I'm going to be 51 in a little bit here, man. So we're getting older, and pretty soon, like, we're going to be like 60 something years old
All right.
podcasting,
Don't just take away
going,
our
being
50s.
like Joel.
We're gonna be like
That
old
was, that
grumpy
was,
and just
yeah,
do it already. Just fucking do it already.
that was great. And I thought that what's it, Caitlin Devers is her name, right?
Deaver, no
Abby?
S, no
Dever.
S.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm doing the European
Yeah, I don't know
thing,
if it's
adding an
Dever
S
or
to everything.
Devers. I think it's Deaver.
Okay. She is fantastic. We have all seen her in so many things. Already at her young age, I feel like she's such an
Oh,
accomplished actress.
she's
She's been in
amazing.
so much
She's
stuff.
amazing.
And the way that she was delivering, I thought the controlled way that she kind of went about it, like kind of in and out. And then every once in a while, she'd just shut the fuck up. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, and then she just kind of go back and talk. And then she was a little nervous. And then when she said to him, she's like, you are good looking. That's
Yeah.
true, right? I was like,
You're
geez,
handsome or something.
creep.
Yeah.
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 She's like, you're handsome. She delivered that so well. And that final, she did a fantastic job of that, man. And she really sold it. She really did sell it. That was, oh, wow. Wow. All those kids did that were standing there watching her. And like you said, that one
Yeah.
kid who was like Bendejo and like, I thought he was going to spit on him. Um,
Yeah. Uh,
I like that he was in the room there because some of them were against it. And like you said, they were initially trying to talk her out of it, which of course I knew they weren't going to be able to, and you knew. But I wonder if some people think, okay, they really, it might actually work. They were hedging it, and then it finally happened. But I
yeah.
like that he was kind of cheering her on a little bit. There needed to be one person in the room who was
Yeah.
as angry as her.
No, I agree. I agree. Now, where are they going now? The fire. I mean,
I don't know.
it's interesting. Like where they. Yeah,
I don't
and
remember.
how do you?
I don't
Yeah.
remember
Oh,
anything
that's right.
past
You don't
this.
remember.
Honestly,
Well, yeah.
I
No, I
really
don't want
don't
you to
remember
actually
anything
answer
past
that.
this point. I
That's
think
good.
that it was so shocking and I played the rest of the game. I do remember, like I said, the thing I do remember is that this is a much longer story than the first one. The first game the second game felt like it was three times the story
Well, they're
than the
splitting it up,
first game.
right? In two, like two
They
seasons.
are. Right.
because there's only 7 episodes this
Yeah.
season.
And I think that's a good choice too. Aren't you happy now though, knowing that you did get spoiled before it happened, but aren't you happy that they didn't make you wait any longer?
I'm happy I didn't have to watch a whole season to
Right.
wait over the
Yes.
inevitable.
I give them a thumbs up on that because if they
Thank you
wanted
for doing
to,
that. They
yeah,
could have
yep.
that could have been season finale.
They could have added 4 episodes of a flashback to the 5 years to build it up and build it up. And then they could have had her started beating Joel in the season finale. And then it just cut as her fist is up like that. And then we have to wait and everyone
Well,
gets
Walking Dead did
spoiled.
that. Walking
Yeah.
Dead did who got killed.
Yeah. See, that's that kind of shit. I'm so glad that they didn't do that and they just did it. Even though they did, I thought that they did add a little bit more. I thought it was going to happen at the end of episode one, but I think they did a good job of it because we didn't even talk about the fantastic and amazing hard home like action scene, the siege on Jackson, we'll call it, the
Yeah, we've been
shroom
talking about
scene
it,
on
but yeah, but
Jackson.
let's focus.
Just how seeing all the fucking zombies come, them running on this. Did you not think of Game of Thrones while you were watching this? You had to have,
Game of
right?
Thrones, World War Z, those are the two that
Yeah. The World
um
War Z part two, where they kind of climb on each other.
but they just run up and they smash their heads. So I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? This is my thing, and this is part of my stand-up routine.
All right, I'm
Just
watching.
once, Axel. So you have these m- shrooms, monsters, not zombies. They're running like heck. They're going full
Yeah.
force. What once in a while, I want to see a couple of those shroom zombie people be like, you know what? I gotta take a break. This is running is too much. I just need a break. Can I get something to eat? Hey, can I have some of that? Like, just
Just
why do we
hanging
always have
out.
to go? Yeah, I mean, in every culture, if you have a group,
Yeah.
there's always a few that are just like, I'm
Yep.
tired, man. I'm gonna sit on a bench for
It's for
5 minutes.
real. Zombies get leg cramps too. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know,
You're running
I
down the
mean,
hill, you pull a hammy, you've just got to stretch it out a little bit, take a
yeah.
second, catch your breath.
I
I
mean,
agree with you. I agree. I agree.
anyway,
That was good.
uh,
That was good, Solo.
yeah.
I
See,
like that.
I'm working on my
That was
stand-up
very
routine.
good. Hey, your friend Sarper, who lives next to you from 90
Yes,
Day
yes.
Fiance, he wants to be a stand-up too. You guys could be a crew together.
Me and
Solo and
Sarper,
Sarper.
Solo and Sarper.
Yeah,
The
baby. That
legend
would be
continues,
awesome.
or no, there was never a legend, so it can't
No, it does.
continue. But
In your own minds, it continues in the real world.
he lives literally like
But
stone's throw from me.
oh God, I love that guy. But when you're talking about them smashing against that, they did that in Hard Home. Remember, they all just kept, and then
Yeah.
they were just sticking their hands. And the thing too, where she was going under the fence.
Oh, that was
And the
unbelievable.
zombie put its finger, was getting cut open through the fence, and it didn't care. It just kept on going. That was a Game of Thrones thing too, like where
Yeah,
they
that
just
was
like
great.
sacrificed their own arm. Or remember, they all came crashing over the cliff in Hard Home, and they just all landed, and then all of a sudden they just all got up and started running. Oh man, I thought
Saw
they
that at
did a
Bubba's
great job.
place. I saw that episode with Bubba.
Well, it's how
Me,
Catfish is
Bubba,
at the end of
Glenn,
every
and some
episode.
Fireball. But
Oh, well,
good times. Yeah, no, it definitely had the hard home feel. Um,
yeah, yeah.
it was, I mean, it was just, I mean, the episode was just, I mean, I mean, we've gotten some amazing episodes with Severance, a couple of White Lotus ones that were off the hook and great. Now, Last of Us is up to par and probably more some. This is an incredible little run to start the year,
It is. It is.
2025.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm excited about it, man. I was really happy with this episode.
this is going to
Um,
be interesting, though, for your non-gamers, just your fans of the show, whether or not how attached they were to Pedro Pascal. And is this, you know what I mean? Like some people, is
yeah,
this like, I mean, is this Mulder leaving the X-Files? Is this, Shelley Long leaving Cheers? I don't know, because they always
Well,
had a good replacement, or not always good, but you know what I mean. So
that's
who's going to step up?
that's you know, maybe when you think about how season one was, how it was sometimes more interested in creating a world than it was only those two characters.
Right.
It was kind of preparing us for it. And, Bella Ramsey, Ellie, she's got to take over the show now. That's it. This is her
Bring
show.
back Nick
She is the
Offerman. Can we
star.
bring back Nick Offerman?
I mean, I
No,
don't know.
but no,
I don't think,
I think they have confidence they're going to tell the story they want to, and that it's going to be. I mean, are they banking on all the people who played the game will watch, and that we're more invested? Because see, are you more invested in the world of why this is happening and how it's going to finish, or were you more interested in Elliot and Joel? Like that's the thing. I mean, you could be interested in both. Which one was
yeah.
stronger for people? And I mean, I'm going to continue. I want to see where it goes. It's going to be amazing television. I just, I love Pedro Pascal. I mean, the fact that he's become like one of the biggest stars in the last, I don't know, 8 years, or since, I guess, since Game of Thrones, really, and then Narcos and everything else. I mean, Mando. I mean, I've grown to like he's like one of my all-time favorites, in the last 25 years. I mean, so I'm kind of at first, like I said before, I was like, I'll quit the show, screw that. But I'm kind of like, well, everyone didn't quit the game, and
It was
you know what I
quite a,
mean.
no, it
You
was,
said to me that stick with it. It's a great story.
yes,
So
yeah, yeah, it is. But I'm not going to lie. And by the way, hi, Grandpa James in the YouTube chat. Um, it was very divisive, Solo. This is not that this second game was very divisive. And but it was hard to tell. It's hard to tell today. I wasn't sure if people were upset at the choice of killing Joel, or were they upset by the fact that Ellie had figured out that she was gay? Because the way the internet is and the incels are, you can't tell. They just get upset about everything. You
uh,
know what I'm saying? Like I look at comments today, it's like, "Oh, I'm glad Pedro Pascal died. He likes trans people or something." Like people. So overall, it was a very divisive
yeah,
outcome for this game, and there's a lot of people who didn't really like it. And but in my opinion, what even though I don't remember all the specifics, I also kind of think I purposefully am clouding my own mind so I can watch the show, and I wanted to play. I always wanted to play the game again, but it is a long game. But I do remember that it was pretty awesome, and the story that it tells is very compelling. And also, I think now that this happened, it gives them a great freedom to do whatever they want.
yeah.
So I would not be shocked if the rest of this is very different from the game,
Oh, interesting. Yeah. No, I
because
mean
they were locked into it. Think about it. So,
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
say, think about that. You're a writer and you start episode one, season one of this, and that he's going to end up dead. Like the point of this whole season is to kill him early on in season two,
yeah, yeah. That is crazy.
right?
That's hard.
So,
That's I mean, and I got a new appreciation for podcasters who have read books like Game of Thrones and not try not to spoil. I know you're having, I mean, not difficulty, but you're doing your hardest because you don't want to
it's
slip
easier
or
now. Now I don't remember. My
remember.
whole my
It's easy. Yeah,
I don't
that's what you
remember
do. You
anything.
play.
My pop
But
mind
I
has
just
taken over.
imagine, I just imagine how tough it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you almost have to be a professional actor to pull that off.
Yep. Yep.
To podcast about stuff it's anyway.
Well, it's a good thing you are.
Oh, there
Um,
you go.
we
I've read
have
all the
some.
books.
I like it. We
Oh,
have
there's
some
no books.
comments on the old Facebook. John Wambacher says, I'm not a game player, so I was shocked by it. I had figured it would happen, but much later in the series. Excited to see where it all goes. Oh, interesting. Okay.
That's okay. That's an excited.
But I wonder, why did you figure it would happen? Because that's,
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
I mean, they did state in at the first episode that she wanted to kill him, right? So that's why I wonder, like, it's not like that's the other thing too in the game. Like, that there's someone after him. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right,
So there
right.
is a danger there. It doesn't totally come out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, let's see. John Locke says, it really sucks. I accidentally learned about it way back in season one. It definitely would have been shocking. But instead, the only thing I felt was anger at the gamers who love to spoil the show. Well, that sucks. Don't get let that go and watch the rest of it, or let that fuel the rest of your watching.
Or just stop watching and watch This Is Us instead.
Yeah, or get vengeance on them at all costs.
Axel doesn't
Um,
like revenge movies, I guess.
no, I
Uh,
love them. Are you kidding?
but I guess a lot of people I heard later on Twitter like were putting like golf ball emojis or different
Yes, yeah.
golf like
Well, that's what
and
Alex said. Alex said, "Welcome to the golf club, guys." Been sitting on that pun for years. Yeah,
yeah.
that was pretty nasty. Richard says, great episode. I played the game years ago, so I knew it was coming. Surprised HBO didn't have a flashback episode or delayed a few episodes, but respect them for getting straight to it. Yep. Okay, this is something that's different in the game, and I don't think it's a spoiler. I like the switch of Dina going with Joel instead of Tommy. It made the battle scene better so we could root for Tommy. So in the game, it is they grab Tommy and Joel at
Oh,
the same time. And they also, there's an aspect of it, if I remember correct, see, it's kind of coming back to me, where
oh,
they
don't do
kind
that.
of use Tommy to get Joel. So Tommy is like, no, Joel, they want to kill you, go. And then Joel's like, no, you're my brother. You know what I'm saying? They want me. So
Right.
Joel is somehow yet again Ned Stark like and giving himself up, you know? Um, Overall, a great episode, and really hope next week is another great episode, as I'm sure many who didn't play the game are mad and thinking about quitting the show, which they totally shouldn't do. Thank you, Richard. I
Thank you,
agree.
Richard. Yeah.
And that's all the comments we got.
I got a little to unpack there. Um, one, do you think now, are we gonna get, because we have a 5 year gap, are we gonna get a bunch of flashback stuff with Joel, you think? Or are they just gonna continue to move it forward? Or are we gonna get maybe a scene or two or a whole episode? Like, I
I
mean,
don't
I don't know
know.
if you know, but yeah, okay. Yeah, because it'll
I
be
don't
interesting to
remember.
see if they, well, but also, I mean, the creators could decide to do something that isn't in the game or a
Yeah,
device.
totally.
Um,
Totally.
so I'm wondering if we're gonna get more Pedro Pascal and see how he killed Eugene, because the whole thing with Eugene, they talked about that.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. See, Solo, this is why you are the master podcaster. This was such an
Master
important
Blaster.
thing.
Oh, sorry.
Such a,
What the heck was that?
remember, remember,
My
Ando was like,
cat.
"That's Solo with the big guitar." That's you playing the music with
Yeah, no,
vocals
it's me.
that Axel can't handle. Um, what was I going to say? Oh, so last week the therapist talked about how her husband was killed, Eugene, by Joel, and she said the way you did it, and we kind of talked about it. Well,
Right.
this time around, Jesse says to Ellie he had to take down, that was too bad that Joel had to take out Eugene, which
Right.
means Eugene must have got bit, right? But at the same time, Ellie finds the necklace of the fireflies, and Eugene was a firefly, leading me to believe that last week when our friend John Locke and I kind of agreed too, why is Ellie so mad at Joel?
Right.
maybe she suspects that Joel killed Eugene to keep him quiet about Joel killing all the
Oh my
Fireflies.
God. I didn't even think of that. So master podcaster down to master blaster. Um, but that, oh wow. If would Joe, are we gonna find out that Joel would did more bad things and to justify
Would you
why
put
him
it
getting
past
killed?
him?
You know, see, this is great to talk about because when we love Pedro Pascal, Joel's our guy, blah blah blah. Quit watching the show, screw that. But now I'm like, and plus he has a bad past, and he might be just a bad guy. And I think we didn't get the hero death. We got the just fucking do it already. Like he didn't talk about. He just answered the questions, limited. He was ready to go. It seemed he knew he was going to die, and he was going to try to get out of it. He was probably,
Yeah,
he's 60, tired, done a lot of bad shit. I deserve to die, maybe in his
yeah.
mind. I mean,
That's the ultimate question, right? And in the end, that's why the revenge kick, if she knows the whole story and
oh,
if she
okay.
suspects it, what happens if she finds out? What is she gonna do?
I I see what you're selling there, Axel. Let's think about that. Oh, I thought we were having an earthquake. I
Did you?
just, I don't think so.
That would be so
No, it's
awesome if
probably
there's
just the
okay.
trucks. But
Okay.
anyway, I think we had it one podcast before. I flew out my no, it wasn't that bad. But no, okay, no, and this is where you're brilliant, and I was a little too much not catching that in the beginning because I was worried about not. I didn't want to do a soliloquy. Yeah, why Ellie going after Abby? Like you would think, oh yeah, Ellie, go get her. But now it's like maybe if she knew the whole story, how bad what he did, maybe she would just have to just end the line there, and like you said, step up and use
Yeah.
her anger or whatever towards maybe she'll eventually be like, you know what, I'll give my body up for a cure. That's what I'm here for. Who knows? Maybe something will change. Um, so you got me thinking without realizing it until now. But yeah, I mean, think about that. It's not the Abby revenge story is your typical revenge story that most people love, but it's a little reverse because we're with Joel first.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were with Abby and we saw her dad die from some dude, we'd probably be rooting against, So it's the fact that our
Yeah.
hero, I'm using quote marks. I still don't know if he's a hero or not, but I mean, Joel was tasked with bringing Ellie to the hospital, but along the way, she became in his mind his daughter and the
Yeah.
replacement for losing his own. And when come up with the choice, he couldn't do it. A lot of us probably, I mean, it's tough. Like, you can't do it because we're not, but what if you're faced, my daughter dies or I can save humanity? You can't blame a parent for not saying, I want to save my daughter. I mean, it takes, so that's a whole nother thing. I mean, I'm sure you could speak of it. I don't
Well, I
blame
don't
someone.
know. I don't
I
know.
know, but I
It's
don't blame
hard.
someone for picking their kid. I'm sorry, I don't. But
I
armchair
mean,
quarterback not involved. Yeah, dude, save humanity. Forget about your daughter. But I mean,
it is a tough question, and we know what Joel chose to do, and we also know that you're right. He was just a contractor with Tommy. They were just regular guys. He was a good dad, right? He was like a single father trying to do his best. Then when his daughter was killed and the apocalypse came down, he became this kind of almost Han Solo like smuggler
yeah,
who we got some stories of him not giving a fuck and killing
yeah,
people and then with his journey in Ellie, we saw that he could be pretty cutthroat and his idea of survival was very cutthroat. And now we jump forward, and in one episode, he's become like the mayor of the town that everybody loves. But then I love that you mentioned it. It's like I remembered everything when he was like, just fucking kill me. Get it over with, right? Like he just screamed, and we didn't see his face. There was no.
Yeah,
I
it was
like how
focused on
yeah, it
Abby.
was a wide shot. She
That was
was
a great
picking the
shot.
golf club,
Oh my
and I
God.
was
Yeah.
like,
Very
wow, that's
impressive.
kind of cool because it's like you said, Solo. If you think about it from a director point of view and from like a cinematography point of view, it is in no way a hero's death. There,
100% no.
we don't even get to see a lot of it. He's just beaten to a pulp.
Yeah.
And that is almost disrespectful, right? It's like when you don't show the character die, you're like disrespecting the character. And I think that that is one aspect of Joel. He prevented humanity perhaps from being saved, for his own, granted, it's fatherly like, but selfish and misguided
I mean, not even his blood.
purposes.
Not even his blood.
Yeah,
Is there something deeper? Because it wasn't like that.
she
If
knows,
Yeah,
I
but if
think.
that was
Don't
if that was his real daughter, like
I don't
I
think it makes a difference.
no, it doesn't. But okay, because
It
I'm
doesn't make
thinking,
a difference to me. It makes no difference whether it's someone he loves. It's out of love. And you know what, dude? There's a lot of
yeah,
people who have real children and
that's
they
true.
wouldn't
That's true.
fucking do that for their children.
Well,
So it doesn't matter to me. And that's why her rejection of him in that first episode, I think had little to do. Like she said to Jesse, we go back and forth. Everybody, she knows what they mean to each other. And it is as much as a father and daughter, but I think she knows deep down what happened.
yeah,
I don't know why. I just feel like she knows.
yeah, because it was weird. It's like we traveled this far to get here, and they're like, oh yeah, no, they can't do it. I don't.
Yeah,
It's yeah,
it's so rough, man. It's so
yeah,
rough. Living in this world,
all alone. What are you
riding through this world.
you
Oh, we're
living in?
living in it. We're trying to live in it. All right, we did our comments there. We did our comments over on the YouTube. Is there anything else that you've been watching or want to chat about before we move on?
Uh,
We've done about an
real quick,
hour on The Last of Us.
real quick, just one movie I recently watched
Oh,
last night, The Order with Jude Law, not with Heath Ledger,
yeah.
with Jude Law, about the based on true events in the 80s. Uh, there's, the rise of this branch of this white power congregation branch off, and because it's the true story of how they, robbed and was setting up, going through the 6 steps from this book. I won't
Yeah,
spoil it too
yeah.
much, but of how the world should be and how you take back your country. And so Jude Law plays a cop who, you know, and the dude from the cutting off the fingers movie. Uh,
I don't know. Nicholas Holt
No, well, he's
is
in it.
in it.
He's awesome. He's
Yeah.
like the lead bad dude. No, the young kid was in the Colin Farrell movie where they're in Ireland and
Oh,
I'm not your
yes.
friend anymore.
Oh yeah, what is that? What is that kid's name? I'll look it
And he
up.
was
You
just in
chat,
a
I'll look it up, buddy.
yeah, and he was just in another he was a
Ty
Amazon movie.
Sheridan. He
Ty
was in
Sheridan.
Ready Player One as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ty Sheridan. Is that the same kid with the weird voice in the Colin Farrell movie, or am I mixing them up?
I'm looking through his movies and I'm not sure. Oh, Voyagers? Yeah, Voyagers. Is that what you're talking about?
Was that the name of the Colin Farrell movie?
Where they're in a spaceship and
Oh no, no,
oh,
no.
okay.
No, the
Because
one
that
they're in
actually Colin,
Ireland
oh
and
no.
he's with not Ray Winstone. Anyway, they're like buddies. He's like, I don't like you. You're not my best friend anymore. And he's like, what? And every time you come by
Oh,
him, I cut my
oh,
finger off and shove it down
oh.
your ass.
No, no, that is not that
That's
that
not the same kid.
is no, that's
Oh,
not
it looks like
that's not
that's
the
not the same
same
kid.
kid. No, that's
It's not
not
the
the
same
same.
actor. Oh, I thought it
No,
was.
no, no. That
Oh,
guy actually, I think that guy actually is Irish. Um,
well, you could tell Jude Law. There's a couple times he yelled. He got a little accent flip, but he does a great. Jude Law did a really good American kind of like 80s mustache detective. Like I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, he did do
Um,
good. You're talking about the Banshees of Inisherin,
yes,
right?
that's what I'm
Inisherin,
talking.
and the actor that you're talking about is Barry Keoghan.
Oh, oh, Barry Keoghan.
Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know.
I
I'm
guess.
Irish. I should
Oh,
know. I'm not
yeah.
good at pronouncing Irish stuff,
Oh, so it's
actually.
not even that same kid. Okay.
No, no. But he was in that movie Saltburn. Maybe that's why he
Okay.
got pretty famous through that.
Yeah, Saltburn. Yeah.
But yeah, I like The Order too. Perry and I watched it on like Friday night or something, or Saturday night, just this weekend as well. It's
You
on
always beat me.
Amazon.
Hulu.
Oh, Hulu.
I've
Yes.
been waiting because I've
Thank you
been
so
waiting to
much.
see it because I didn't see it in the theater, and I've been waiting to see it. And then I heard it was coming out. I'm like on Hulu, but like I misread it and I thought it was March. And I'm like, where is it? I was frustrated. And I found out it was April 24th. It came out on Hulu. But I've been
Yeah,
wanting to see this movie. It was really well done.
I liked it a lot.
I really liked the movie. It was well done. I'm glad. There's been a few movies in 2024 that I've really liked. Not saying they're the greatest, but like that this is one of them. And September 5th about the Munich Olympic hostage. Like
Yeah, that was
I thought
great.
that film was great.
That was
I mean, there,
fantastic.
some of those films that aren't getting big, you know.
Yeah,
And me and my wife, we've been to the movies twice this year. We're already ahead of the last year. Going to
nice.
we saw Drop, the
Oh,
Blumhouse
okay.
with our boy from 1923, the lead guy. He's in it. Um, my boy not Peter Diamond, Reed Diamond. I went to school with a Peter Diamond, but it's about this girl's on a date. This lady's on a date, and then
Yeah,
she gets the
yep,
thing where you have to kill your date and
yep.
whatever. And it was well done. It was fun. Um, it takes place in like a high-rise restaurant in Chicago, and most of it takes place there. It was really, really well done. Blumhouse does a lot of good stuff.
They do.
I actually love The Invisible Man with Elizabeth Moss. Like I believe that was a Blumhouse one as well. I mean, there's
Yeah.
some, but this one it was fun. I love our 1923 guy. I think he's Czech. He's got a Czech last name. Lady Solo said she knows her
Oh,
Czech.
oh,
Um,
check that box.
well, I'm trying to check it
Are you checking
before
his name?
yes. Well, I'm having the internet do it, and it's running wicked slow
Oh, wicked slow.
for 1923. Okay, yes,
We should.
Brandon Sklenar,
Oh, okay.
Sklenar,
Maybe he is Czech. Should Google it.
or Sklenar. Well, he was born and raised in Jersey, but
Oh, I
I'm sure he
like.
has.
God, everybody's from fucking New
He's
Jersey. Bill
freaking
Cava's from New Jersey.
wow, Bill Cobb. Oh, he was in The Offer. He played Burt Reynolds in The Offer. I didn't realize. I haven't watched The Offer still.
Oh, okay.
Vice. He's
That
in
was really
Vice.
good. I really like The Offer.
Two episodes in Westworld. Henry.
Nice.
Henry. I don't
I
remember
like
who
that.
that. Um,
I think I might remember who that
it
was.
ends with us. He's in.
Who
Yeah.
was Henry in Westworld?
It was just two episodes. I don't remember. It says
Was he that
2022.
son? Wasn't he the son in the of the rich guy in the beginning that we find out, and then she's trying to get? I can't remember Westworld
No,
season.
that's the other guy
Oh, okay. I
that's
don't
on the
remember.
T-Mobile commercial right now who's in Punisher.
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
I think I don't know, but no, this dude's awesome.
Um,
But Drop, I enjoyed Drop.
I think that we could even, I would consider looking back at some of these movies and doing a pod. Maybe we do like a deeper dive and chat them out a bit more. Because there were quite a few. I really did like that movie, The Order, and I thought that one of the good things about it was it was an adult drama, and it didn't tell you everything that was happening. Like there's certain plot points that it kind of slowly you kind of had to pick up on, like what was going on with Nicholas Holt and his
Yeah.
family, and like all this other kind of stuff. You had to kind of slowly pick up on it, and I like it did have a 70s feel, of trusting the audience. Like, we're just going to show you these scenes.
They show
You've
you a
got to
quick
kind of
clip
figure
and
out
you
what's
got to
going
figure
on.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, and I always love that. That's always awesome for me.
I'll
We
just say
watched.
one thing
Go
from the
ahead.
beginning. He says the die pack explode. I thought something they were goofing around and someone's head got blown
That's
off.
what Perry thought too. I thought it was the die pack,
Okay. Yeah.
but just because it was too much, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was way too much blood. I thought, what is this, like some fucking Japanese samurai movie? But we also watched G20, the
Bingo.
Amazon. Did you watch that? Have you seen that?
What is G20?
G20 is an action movie on Amazon where who is it? Alfre Woodard
Oh yeah,
plays
yeah, yeah.
uh
I've seen
oh no,
the
Viola Davis, sorry.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Where
yeah. Viola
Viola
Davis.
Davis
Humphrey Woodard.
plays plays the hero at like the president. And what's his name? Anthony Starr from The Boys is like
And
the bad
Banshee.
guy in it. And Banshee, yep. Ramon Rodriguez from that show on channel on
Channel
Fox.
56. Oh,
What is he on Fox? He does.
I don't
It's
know who he
actually
is.
not a bad show. He's like a detective who. It's a little monkish. Like, I think he has a little
Oh,
OCD or something, but the show is named after him. I've actually watched a few
oh.
episodes of it. It's
Will
not that.
Trent,
Will Trent. That's it. Yep.
ABC.
Will
Cool.
Trent. He's basically like the kind of secondary star of the movie. And you want to know something? It's not that
Yes.
bad. If you and Lady Solo are in the mood for like a kind of fun action, big bad guy, a little bit over the top movie, I would check it out. I mean, it's a little overly long, and you can tell it doesn't have a huge budget because it kind of takes place in one building pretty much the entire movie. But it's pretty fun. I was actually a little bit like, we're chatting during it and all that, but it was a pretty
Hmm.
fun movie. I would check it out if I were you. G20, baby.
G20. Have you been watching any 90 Day Fiance
Oh, of
universe?
course. Of course.
So I don't sit down and watch it, but usually my wife's watching it. I'm working on the kitchen table or something.
Yeah.
And so of course I get sucked in. So um I don't remember. I was gonna surprise you with some reality talk
Oh,
and
I
I'm
thought,
not
yeah, I was waiting
I
for you
was
to
gonna
talk
surprise.
reality.
Oh, okay. This is what I do want to talk about one real. This is
Okay.
the
Okay.
first ever solo FOLO reality
I can't
corner.
believe it's happening. I'm so excited.
Uh, so Gino and Jasmine.
Okay.
So
Gino and
you
Jasmine.
know
I know all about them.
Jasmine's pregnant with the open relationship guy. She's
Yep.
messing around. Gino,
Yep.
that, and then Rob and the British girl,
Yes.
whose mother's freaking crazy. Um, so anyway, yeah, I mean, I know of Jasmine and Gino for so long. Like I've, and it's like it doesn't surprise me it ended up this way. But
It's very
this is the thing.
predictable.
I don't know. I mean, we know reality TV isn't just put the camera on, let them do. There's
Right.
things that happen to make it. Because my wife a lot of times is like, "Why didn't she just do this?" I go, "Honey, it's a TV show. They need to." But that was just that storyline for where it started, the amount of fighting that went. See, that's the thing about a lot of these couples on 90 Day. They hate each other, they're idiots, and they wonder why their relationships don't work out. But it makes for great television.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, welcome to the world of reality television and of human beings in general. Everybody has weird fucking relationships. Those two are crazy, man. She's very smart. And I actually think that that dude is very smart. And I think that he is definitely on the spectrum or a little bit, he has some differences or uniquenesses to him that I don't think that they talk a lot about on the show, but you can kind of tell even when they start talking about sex shit, it's like he's like a little child or something like that.
Yeah.
And then she is like got the all the fake everything going on, like pushing, expressing all of that. It's a weird fucking man. All those people are weird, but you are right, Solo. It's okay to say no normal person would be on this show. They want
You wouldn't
at
want it.
yes, they
The
want to be
audience
on
wouldn't watch.
TV. That's what they want more than
Yeah.
anything else. Like that's why I like your boy Sarper and Shakina because Sarper knows he's on a television show and he hams it up and he plays along. Are you watching the newest season or you
Yeah,
were
well,
watching the hotel one?
I'm no, I'm familiar with when she went
Okay.
to Turkey and he was like a dick and was we his
Yeah.
bed was all,
Oh, you
the
saw,
cover.
I didn't even see all that. Was
Oh
that before
yeah.
the 90 days?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it might have been. I don't know if it was. I get confused because there's before the 90 days, 90
Yes,
Day
me too.
Fiance,
Me too.
after there's pillow talks and group.
Yes. Yep.
But no, this was the beginning because I remember being like, this dude's a douchebag. He's like
Yeah.
a scumbag model, whatever. But you know what? The dude, like, so I'm wondering what was hammed up. I'm a personal trainer. I
Yeah.
drill a lot of women. And it's like, okay,
He,
all right, we got
he
it.
said his body count is 2,500,
Yeah. And so,
but he
but
said it with
then,
a
but him in
smile.
LA now, like this new season,
Yeah.
I've noticed, I'm rooting for this guy. Like, I
There you
like him.
go. Yeah, me
I
too.
like him.
I think that he was playing a role in the first go round where he was like the tough Turkish guy.
Yep.
And now he's playing the role where he said he's new modern Sarper, where he listens, he doesn't get angry, he doesn't react. I mean, that little French Napoleon guy was yelling at him, going, I would be a better girl boyfriend than her. You are nothing. And he was like, oh, okay, really? Like he wasn't even reacting to it. He knows he's on a TV show, man. He doesn't need to be, the producers don't need to produce him. What bothers me about that show is when they overproduce some of the people and they tend to be like the southern women in really small town, like that woman who's like in Hadesburg, Mississippi.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the guy who has the airplane
Yeah.
house in New Hampshire
Yeah.
with the French lady.
And now, yeah,
It's
that's,
so over, like he takes her to a market and it's like a gas station. You know there's a Costco around the corner. They're
yeah.
just doing that to like make her be a fish out of water and get her upset, or then she plays like she's upset. So sometimes that's the thing that bothers me when and I can tell you probably get a little frustrated at that too, when it's like too when it's funny, I like it. When it gets too yelling and over dramatic, and you can tell they're talking about the same thing for like
Oh, yeah. To
3 months,
Jerry Springer it up. Yeah.
that is when
And
I
you
tell
can
Perry, turn it
tell,
off.
and I'm sorry, I mean, it's fine, but you can tell when they're like, the producer's like, we need to talk about why your friend, and they go,
Yes.
so what about John? Like, it's so like
Yes.
obvious.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's just, and these people aren't actors, so it's, but
It's
anyway,
very
but
obvious.
it's but then like it's just interesting, like that no neck guy with the mayo in the hair, that dude got a lot of play.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God. But I
Ed.
saw Ed, I saw the season where I don't know if he cheated on his wife when they were in her house and they broke up, and
Yeah.
it was, that felt to me, that felt very real. And he's just like even on one of the, he was in a hot tub at the, what was the retreat they go to
Yes. I saw
last
that
resort or
too.
something
I
or
saw
whatever it
that.
is, and
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, bitch. He's like calling some dude a
Yeah.
bitch, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what the? I'm like, this. Anyway, it's just like,
How does that guy have the balls to do that? Well,
did
I
they
think
guarantee
that,
him he wasn't going to get popped in the face?
hey man, you know as well as I, we've been around a lot of weird, creative people, and you know that there are people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's
Oh
why I
yeah,
think, in essence, they're all the really good ones. At their heart, they're really good performers, and they just turn it on and kind of get the attention if it's starting a fight, if it's being really nice, if it's saying
yeah,
something, whatever they can do to kind of get everybody fired up and going. Like that guy you're talking about, that guy Rob. what was her name? Was it Christina? I can't remember, with the British girl. All he does is start shit with other people. Like that's
Yeah.
all he does. He picks a fight with every single woman and just starts shit with them, and it's so obvious he's just doing it for attention. And then remember
Yeah.
on the reunion, the lady said that before he was doing this, he was like doing naked shit on gay cams on the internet for money.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, but he's like, but I'm not gay. I just made a lot of money doing it. Guys like to
20
look
bucks
at
is
me.
20 bucks.
What that's what they say. And it's like, okay, that's fine, but it shows that you are literally willing to do anything
Yeah.
to make
See,
money,
and
get famous. It doesn't, there's no boundaries for you.
that's the thing with like the show. It's like in my mind, as a producer, I'm like, okay, which ones are kind of real? Which ones are they totally engineering because they like the personality and they wanted them in a show? And
Yeah,
um, so you're just wondering like what, because like a lot of the Gino and Jasmine, like especially the Jasmine when she gets fired up and starts
yeah,
yelling, I can't stand it, but it's like they want that, they want
yeah.
that, and
Oh,
I
she's a
gotta believe,
professional.
I gotta believe Jasmine isn't as crazy as she. I mean, it could be, but to me, I'm like they're overdoing it with her because there are times where you see her and she's talking nice. The problem is every scene they put her in, she's got some
She
issue.
goes
And
nuts.
I'm like, well, I want to see the normal, the one that is like, honey, I just want to have sex with you, you know?
Well, you
But
know
that
what?
wouldn't
It's
so.
probably a little bit of both, right? Like they cast them and then they see, oh, hey, she really works. She listens to producers well, or this one can do it all on their own. It's
Yeah.
almost like talent scouting, right? Like they just keep on working with them and then they go on to a different show. But the other thing to remember too is that in the reality world, 90 days is kind of like it's kind of like the bottom. Like I
Okay.
love it and it's
Mhm.
fun, but as far as like classy goes or well produced,
Right,
it's
right.
kind of
It's
at the bottom. Like if you
yeah.
watched a Bravo show, if you
Hmm.
watched 90 Day Fiance and then you watched like Southern Charm, you would be instantly you would see the production value is so much better, the editing is so much better. When people say things, they cut back to the season before and show that they're wrong. They
Mm.
do a lot more
Yeah, it's
humor and little
they put more money
skits.
and more
Yeah, they
production
put
value
more
into it.
money and
Yeah.
time into it. So the 90 day one, all the things you're talking about are so true
Yeah, because it's
because it's kind of low grade. Like
yeah.
they're
Great.
not.
Glad my wife watches low grade
I watch it too, but that's what makes it so good is that
yeah.
it's like the most reality of reality shows,
Gotcha.
you know? So it's
Gotcha.
kind of like it wouldn't even be McDonald's. Like 90 Day Fiance would be like a 7-Eleven hot dog. You know what
Right.
I'm saying, dude?
Hmm. I know what
Like
you mean.
yeah, it gets pretty bad. But hey, that was
Yeah.
fun. We had a little reality talk. You lasted longer than I thought, Solo.
Well, I could keep talking about this show because I there
Oh,
was one show. Well, we got, well, they were in the Czech Republic, so that, of course,
yeah.
it was this guy who was, I don't know, I don't think he was autistic. He was a little weird. I'm not sure if he had anything, but he went to the Czech Republic. It was a really strange guy, and there was a
Was he
blonde
the
girl.
guy who was trying to impregnate all the different women?
Well,
Was
I don't
that the
know.
one?
Oh, I don't know if it was that. He no, he was like almost like a real nerd with the.
Oh, okay. I may not have seen. I haven't
Okay.
seen all of them. We're kind of in and out on that
My
show.
wife watches them
Um,
all.
yeah, because some of them I can't. I with this show, some of it is just too much for me. It's
I
a
mean,
little bit.
there's so many shoot offs. Then people got their own show, and then there's the show. I guess that's part where they sit on their bed and they critique the show you just watched. Like they have the comments, like the
Yes.
couples
Yep.
together.
Yep.
I don't know if that's Pillow Talk or
It is. I think that is
is that what
Pillow
it's called?
Talk. I'm trying to find the Czech guy because I think I know who
No,
you. Oh,
he wasn't Czech. She
oh,
was Czech.
Jovi.
No,
Oh,
was
are
his name
they? Was
Jovi?
she from the Czech Republic? Yeah,
There's
Yara and Jovi. Yeah, I
see,
think
oh
Yara
maybe
was
there's
from the
another.
Czech Republic.
No, I think they
Oh,
were.
okay.
This was a different one because I know who you're talking about. Yeah, no, there
Okay.
are a few.
Okay.
But what
Yeah,
about the
there's a lot
last
of them.
thing? The last thing. What
A lot of them.
about the blonde with the big eyes who's crazy?
And
That
Josh, and yeah, I can't remember her name,
well,
but
she was married to some guy and then decided at the last minute to, and then now she's on the latest show. I think after the 90 days. What stuff? What the Gino show with Gino and Jasmine?
um, oh, that
She's from
one,
Romania, maybe, or she's Russian. I'm not sure.
yeah, and she starts shit with everybody.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's
And she
always
starts
angry.
laughing during like weird.
Yes.
What the fuck? She's she's a nightmare. Oh my God. I don't know if
Alexandra.
that's real.
Alexandra is
I
her
don't know if
name.
that's real or if that's
Oh no,
fake.
it's not Alexandra. She is. I think no. I think she's crazy. I think she. I think she's crazy,
Yeah, because the guy even left her on the thing. It's like, dude.
dude. He wouldn't tell her where he lives. Remember?
Yeah.
He wouldn't tell her where he was. She was like, "Why you don't bring me to your house? Why you don't bring me to your house?" Oh, Natalie, Josh and Natalie,
Oh my
right? She's like, "I
Lord.
not even know where you live," and he's like, "Well, you called my ex-wife a slut. You said she was a terrible mother, and you talked shit about my kids, so I didn't think it was safe to tell you where I live." Now
That
that
makes sense.
the word on the street with them is that he paid her to go on the show with him so he could continue to be on television.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she's supposed to be playing a role. Like she was like, I'll play the villain then. So she just
Yeah,
started shit with
because I
everybody.
saw her on other show and she wasn't as
Yeah.
didn't seem as crazy to me.
Well, they do that on this show too, don't they, Solo? Like Sarber, right?
Yeah.
Like on 90 Day Fiance, one season they'll be an absolute lunatic, and then a season later they'll be like kind of nice, you know? But you
Yeah.
see that on reality, like even on Real Housewives, there's this woman, Erica Jane, on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. One season she was totally horrible. Now she's like the nicest person, and she's like, "Oh, I could be happy now. See, I was really upset back then." And that's kind of like her, she thinks she's creating her own character,
Yeah. I mean,
right?
it's yeah. I mean, come on. They're shooting, like if people think that a lot of this is real, it's like uh but
Well, it's a mix though. That's the
it's a
thing is
mix.
I
It's a
think
mix.
that when you're involved in a show like this, you start to not be able to tell the difference and you just kind of go with it after a while.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're
You're
an
playing a
actor,
role.
Solo, right?
Hmm.
You know what it's like when you hear stories of like Heath Ledger getting too into being the Joker. You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like method act. It's a form of method acting in a way.
Yeah.
But
But
there's a lot of
it's
characters
interesting.
on
It's
that show.
interesting though. Yeah, there
What do
is.
you
It's
think?
interesting. I like
What
it.
do you think of? Because to me, one of the most interesting things on this new season is, oh, what the fuck is the girl from the trans girl from Brazil and
Oh, the gay
the
guy, the
the
60
gay
something.
guy
Yeah,
who's 60 and who spent his whole life married to a woman only to then fall in love with a guy who wants to be a
to be a
woman.
woman and
Like,
wants implants. Yeah.
it's the fucking worst. That to me is heartbreaking.
Yeah,
Aaliyah,
that's a strain.
Aaliyah,
Yeah.
Aaliyah and Sean. That's who it is. That one is for me. See, that I feel is real,
Yeah, I could buy that.
right?
I could because there's nothing. I mean, again, they haven't like I haven't seen any blown up like
Right.
yelling.
That's what I
It
mean.
does seem
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, yeah.
It
Well,
seems like
yeah,
they had a relationship. It was an open relationship. And then they kind of fell in love. But then at the same time, he decided, no, Douglas is going to die and I'm going to become Aaliyah.
yeah.
And then Sean doesn't even have the opportunity to really mourn the loss of this Douglas person.
Oh,
But
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
but then to be nice because he's so loving, accepts Aaliyah, but the truth is that he really desperately wants to be with a man because he had hid his sexuality for so long so he could have children and have a family. And it's like the ultimate, like, the dude just can never get what he wants. You
Yeah.
know, he just wanted a hot, young Latin guy. And instead, he got a Latin girl. And he's like, trying everything he can not to be with a girl. It's just, it's tough, man. That to me is the one real story on that particular show. Oh, I think the Iranian guy is pretty real too. You know, the girl who draws
Which one?
boobs. And
I'm
the
sure I do.
guy from Iran who her dad didn't like. You might not. They're not on that much. So if you're just
Oh man.
dropping in and
Yeah,
out,
I don't
then
that I
yeah,
don't
they're
think.
new. They're new too.
Okay. Yeah, I don't
They're
think I
new.
know them.
All right,
All
Solo.
right.
Now I think we've reached the end of your 90-day talk.
Oh,
I could
jeez.
see you zoning out there towards the end. You were like, "No, let's continue," and then it
No,
went
no,
too
no. I was
far.
into it. I was into it, and then yeah, at one point
You
I
got a
just
little
my
drunk on 90-day, I think,
you know,
Solo.
I honestly I don't remember the last like 3 minutes.
I don't either. I
I
don't
just
either.
faded away into.
Okay. You're right, buddy. Well, let's end it then. I'll let you. I'll take you out like Joel said. Just fucking end it. All right, everybody. This was a great pod. We talked about a lot. We had some viewers on the YouTube. Hopefully, we'll have some listeners over on the podcast. Remember to subscribe. We have a bunch of film lists that are going to be dropping soon. We're going to be jumping on doing pods like this. We still are going to do a White Lotus wrap up with Gina at some point when she is ready. We may be bringing Erica onto that, a potential new podcaster. And what else is anything else coming up, Solo? In the
Dr.
film
Odyssey
list?
podcast with Donald.
Oh, Dr. Odyssey
But
podcast. That's going to be a good one. I thought Donald was Dr. Odyssey.
well, he is. No, yeah, no, just we got a big we'll be live this Thursday for the
Yes.
NFL draft, Axel. Tell the
Awesome.
people around the
Awesome.
couch. We're
Yes.
it'll be the first around the couch on the tube of you.
Yeah.
And it'll be fun. We'll see Ando and Brett, and who knows, we may have a special guest,
Mm-hmm.
a very special guest.
Very special guest.
So yeah, it'll be fun.
It's
Yeah,
going to be
gonna do
awesome.
around the
I
couch live.
think
We're gonna do most of the first round.
Solo, do you want to start after the first round has already kicked off? It's
See, I
supposed to
was
start.
against it.
Okay, go ahead.
I would rather. I know it starts at like 5, 20 minutes are on the clock. A little after 5 is the first pick.
Right.
I say we get our bearings. Hey, the draft start. Like, I don't want to just, to me, I don't want to jump into pick 5 and be like, I don't know, because the whole live thing
I
of it,
agree.
I
I
feel we should
agree.
start. Yeah. And people
No,
can
I
come in
totally agree.
anytime. Like
Yeah.
Ando and Brett don't have to be with us. Me and you start it. And because I'd like saying who the first pick is, even though we kind of know,
Yes.
is
Yep.
part of
I
the fun
totally
of it.
agree.
I'd rather stop at pick 15 than go from like 3 to 20, you know?
I agree with you. I just know sometime I can never remember. They say the draft, the first pick is supposed to at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tennessee is on the clock. They have 10 minutes to make the first pick. So by 8:10, the first pick should be in, and they
It'll be a
usually
little
take it.
later because they do like a little
That's what I'm saying.
intro or whatever.
Right. So when do you want to start? Do you want to start at 8?
Yeah. I
So we
mean,
have that
so
15 minutes?
we have 15 minutes to get our bearings, promote, kind of catch
Okay.
up,
That's when we're
talk about our
starting then.
teams, be like, oh, hey, you know, the Jets are picking at what? Oh, what are you looking at anyone that you really want? You know, there's plenty of discussion. Then we go, shh, here's the pick. Here's the pick. Oh, no. So, yeah.
I like that. I'm
I
down
mean,
with
we
it.
don't, yeah, yeah. Even if it's just me and you and the guys come on whenever they want or whatever. I mean, anyone can come on and leave at any time,
Okay.
you know.
Cool. All right, so we're making the announcement. We're going live at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern this Thursday in 1, 2, 3 days, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
And
3 days.
we'll go as far as we go. right? What pick is the Cowboys have? 11?
12.
Okay.
So I'll still be around for 12 picks at least.
And Jets are what, 6 or 7?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we just take a break and Ando and Brett can talk about the Vikings and the Falcons at the end.
Right. The Falcons can draft Shador Sanders and have another quarterback and sign Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I definitely have 2 hours in me, maybe three.
Oh, look at him
The
staring down
draft.
in the camera. He was like, I got 3 hours in me. All right, we'll see how much Folo
Yeah, we'll
has.
see. Yeah, whatever. It's
Folo has
okay.
at least, I think Folo has at least an hour and a half in him. I think that's what I got in me. An hour to an hour and a half of draft talk. That should bring us definitely to pick 3. I'll
Yeah,
definitely pick
yeah.
3.
But I can if you need to if you need a break, you just hit your DVR podcast
That's
little
exactly right.
thing, go do
Yep.
your thing, come back later. I'll hold down the ship, brother.
We'll do it, baby. All
We'll do
right.
it Matthew McConaughey style.
All right. All right. All right. All right, everybody.
And again.
Thanks for listening. Solo, another great pod. Thank you to James and Bubba for being in the chat.
Joe Bear.
Joe Bear, thank you. Thanks to all the patrons out there. Thanks for listening. DVRpodcast.com. I'm going to do the double stop. Here we